But they were asking him, hey, what are some of the styles that are going to be coming out? You know, you talked about how it constantly evolves, or you have to keep evolving your recipes and your ingredients, and et cetera. And he mentioned tavern style, cast iron, and then bar style, which I guess tavern and bar are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Can you educate me on what? I guess I can understand cooking something in cast iron, and maybe it's a really thick crust. But
so tavern style is more of a thin, super thin square pizza, round pizza, but cut in little rectangles or squares, as you say, in bars or taverns, if you want to call them that.
It's kind of like a hors d'oeuvre.
It's like a cracker almost. It's as thin as a cracker.
Okay. Wow.
And it's not. It's total different. Like if you've seen Portnoy's reviews, he actually likes thin pizza, but he'll give like a 6.8, which is a high, I think, for a tavern for him. Not like to knock it on that score, but it's again.
Is it a full pie?
Yeah. It's like a 16-inch. You know, Jersey styles is to the edge with the sauce on the top.
Yeah,
like the New Haven style is like heavy on the Parmesan, fresh mutts. You know, the blots of sauce over it. So we're just going to give different options. Chicago thin cracker thing. Some of these are different dough recipes that I have to work on with Ethan because Chicago cracker thin is like no edge and it's almost like a cracker, super thin.
And it probably cooks incredibly fast.
Yes, exactly, and it's crispy.
Do you have to almost cook those other ingredients separately because the crust is going to cook like
no
much
you
quicker?
Cook it. It's just like cooking in a wood fire. You can't put a meat lovers or 4 topping. Like you couldn't put the Hayden in a wood fired because it has like 6 toppings.
Gotcha.
So you have to know your oven and you have to know your product that you're cooking. You know.
Now, is that something you even want to mess with?
What we're gonna do is we're gonna run weekly specials of each style for maybe 6 months and see which one is most popular. Because what we're doing when we hire the staff, like because the tips are like off the charts, we're trying to be selective of who we hire, attitude, you know, just everything in general, and then we want you to be educated on the pizza. Like we want you come in with your family and you say, oh, what is Chicago style? Oh, it's thin. No, we want to know everything about it. Hey, it's a different type of flour. It's cooked different. It's a different temperature. Sicilian's a thin crust. It's par baked. You know, Neapolitan style is going to be cooked in the wood fire with buffalo mozzarella, fresh basil, olive oil.
Right.
You know, and then your New York style is going to be cooked in this oven, and your Detroit style has brick cheese.
It's kind of like when you go to a fine restaurant and they will say, here's the specials for the day, and then really kind of walk you through it. Oh, we're going to have a nice little tenderloin. It's going to have a duck braised something and some asparagus on the side that were, you know, blackened by our chef. And they go through the whole thing. And you're just like, I just have the cheeseburger.
Yeah, well, you have some people like that, but we have a big following from that people are like pizza gurus. And, you know, in the beginning, I was like, oh, the kids don't have to know all that, the girls. And then I'm like, wait a second.
That would really differentiate you.
That and these kids go to school every day, take the SATs, retain more information than I could ever remember in my life.
Right.
They're smarter than me. They can do it. We just got to make them do it or tell them this is what you have to do to serve. Then they want to do it because they see the other servers making that money. And they retain it better than me.
Yeah.
So why not empower them? I told the girl, she says, when can I serve? When can I serve? I said, listen, you got everything down, but I need you to know some wines and beers. Well, I don't drink. No, you don't. But you could tell them what pairs with it. You could be educated. I don't want to put you out there and make you fail because I didn't give you the armor.
Right.
So she says, can you make me a little list? I said, absolutely. I said, Cameron, Colin, make her a little cheat sheet so she can study, you know? And she's like, okay, because I want them to go out there and educate. Because I had someone complain about our price of beer. He bought like 10 beers or 5 or 6 beers, had another drink, paid his bill. He got one Michelob Ultra. It was like $7. Most Michelob Ultras are 4 or 5. I said, you're not paying for that beer. You're paying for the experience in here, the ambiance, and the people around you. Now, yeah, you can go to other places and get a 4 or 5 and go to that place. Right. But we're not that place. You didn't notice it until you got one beer. Are we higher than most places? Yes. That's why I have, you know, we are, like you said, is it burnt? I don't know. Is it burnt for you, Troy? You spend a lot of money when you come in. We're going to make it again. We're not even going to argue with you. But if we educate you when you go, hey, we want it well done. Okay, well, our well done is very well done. Do you want it light? Because we can put it back in. Or little note, hey, you're Troy, table 7. You might want to pull it out and be like, Troy, is this good? Because you see all the pizzas that come out. So it's just you know, I want to be like the best at what we do. Maybe we don't have the best pizza to some people, but we have the best staff. We have the best education. We have the best, you know, atmosphere, the ambiance, and we have the best customers.
It seems like a natural extension of you've already decided, and I think Tony, you learned this from Tony, to put the oven out there with the customers. He mentioned that he does that in his restaurant.
Yeah.
And you have the kitchen behind it, right? Mm-hmm. The commissary behind that, where, okay, great, now we can watch you, but wouldn't it be awesome if you came over and kind of talked us through? Certain pizzas go in that oven, other pizzas have to go there. Sometimes they go in both. Whatever. I think that would be really cool and open up the eyes of those young kids like an Ethan.
Next time you come in, I'm going to make sure Ethan takes care of you.
Okay.
Because he does that. Him and Cameron do it. And I said, listen, you two need to sit down. I said, get with Colin. I don't care if everybody has a different spiel, but everything you guys are saying, they need to say.
Yeah.
Because Cameron will take time, and Colin and Ethan, those 3, will take time and tell you each one. And they do it in a different way, which everybody has their own way of doing it, but it needs to be done every single time.
Well, you know, and there's another aspect that I've picked up on that you said in the first episode. Tony just said it in what I was listening to him, where it's going to take a little bit longer at a place because there's a science behind it, right? And it just takes time to make good pizza. This is not going to be Domino's or Pizza Hut. It's not going to come out in 8 minutes. You put it on a conveyor belt, it comes out the other side, done in a box, right? And so there's part of that is setting expectations. So the more you can educate your consumer on, hey, it's probably going to take, even might be close to a half hour, because we're rolling out the dough. You know, we're putting on all the ingredients every single time. All that goes into that. We keep, they may even be able to toot their own horn, right? We're constantly updating the ingredients that go into our dough.
Yep. We are.
And testing it. And because of that, then, yeah, it costs a little bit more, and it might take a little bit more time, but you're going to come back, right? Because you're going to be satisfied.
And you're going to have a clientele that doesn't want to wait. Or you're going to have a clientele like your family, not just saying you guys, but there's other families that appreciate it, that love it, that will drive an hour or wait 30 minutes. Or you don't usually wait. You're like the mayor when you come in. Everybody knows you now. Like Troy's table's over here. No, but...